Peace everyone, Unmask here and welcome back to the Drawing Journal. I hope everyone had a remarkable weekend. Mine was fairly uneventful but still enjoyable. Today I'm just going to be continuing on a color chart that I've started several months ago. I talked about this color chart before in the past a few times. It's going to be my master color chart where I have my prismacolors, my polychromos, and my luminance all on a single color chart. That way I can kind of color match between the brands much easier and then also supply that information with everyone else. There's 450 teeny tiny squares on this piece of paper. It took me long enough just to draw it out with a pen, let alone filling it all in and labeling all the colors. So I didn't have anything else really going on that I felt like I could do during the drawing journal. And for anybody that's new to my channel, the drawing journal is just kind of an art hangout. I do a bunch of random stuff in multiple mediums, sometimes tutorials at the request of all of my lovely subscribers, and I do it every Monday. So make sure you subscribe and don't miss the future ones. Anyways, I'm going to just start coloring in some squares. If you guys have any questions, you know me, I never get enough questions and I will be happy to answer them. And then also, I don't know if you've noticed, but I kind of moved my webcam over to the side a little bit. Let me know what you think. I just wanted to try something different today since I was doing nothing really fun. But other than that, let's just start coloring. Hello, Lindy, Hildy, Alex, Barbara, Sneaks, Kim, Paulo, good to see everyone. I do apologize for not streaming last week. I know a few of you were a little concerned. I didn't mention anything on Facebook. I didn't talk about it or mention that I wasn't going to be streaming. The reality is I just woke up with a really bad headache and I couldn't, not only did I have a headache all last Monday, but I actually couldn't think of anything to do for last Monday's live stream, and I was like, oh, I can't just go on the live stream and not do anything. Basically today is a continuation of doing nothing. A color chart is not exciting by any means, at least in most cases. I really enjoy color charts. I have this color chart to do, and I have several other color charts that I need to do. I want to do a color chart of all of my pastel pencils because, as many of you know, I recently just got my hands on the full set of Derwent pastel pencils, Caran d'Ache pastel pencils, and even the full set of the Faber-Castell pastel pencils. And I am very, very happy to announce that this Wednesday I will be releasing the review video of all 4 sets of pastel pencils, and I'm excited to have the video done and out and uploaded. It is actually uploaded now, and I do have the video prepared. I'm going to do something new with the video. So YouTube, they kind of came up with this really neat idea called premieres, and just like in the past, you can upload a video and schedule it for when you want it to go live, but with the premieres you can actually schedule it out, letting people know that it's going to be available, and then you can see the video, and when it actually goes live and you can watch the video, I can watch it with all of you, and there's a live chat. And now it's just a short video, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to try out. So I think I'm going to premiere the video once I get the thumbnail finished, and then it'll be public. You guys will be able to see it. You won't be able to watch the video, but at least you'll know that it's coming and when it's coming. It'll be this coming Wednesday at 1500 my time. And I thought it'd be kind of fun. The live chat thing will be like open up before the video actually starts, so you can already start like chatting or whatever. And I thought it'd be kind of cool. If you guys have any questions about the pastel pencils, I could answer it right then and there. And yeah, I thought it'd be kind of a fun thing to try out. Looks like I got a few more people in the chat. Hello, Coffee Cat and Tony. Lady Marigold, always a pleasure. Fattykins, hello to you as well. What made me want to switch position of the camera? Actually, the reason I switched position of the camera is because I knew that I would be kind of low and like slanted, because this paper is like really long. Like you can see, this is a larger piece of paper, and I have to turn it sideways, and I knew that I would already be kind of turned sideways, so it made more sense for me to have the camera a little bit off to the left as opposed to like right in front of my face. Yeah. Oh, hello, Barbara. Did I already say hello, Barbara? No. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Oh, hello, Steve. Good morning to you. And Shire. I'll just call you Shire for short. Yeah, color charts. I have a lot of them, as you can see over here. And I have I don't remember if I don't think I mentioned it yet on YouTube, but so I had recently just got a set of the Copic markers, and it wasn't even like 2 days after I did the drawing journal where I tried them out for the first time that I already went out and bought another set. So I made a color chart. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can kind of see it. This color chart here is the first set of the 72 Copic marker set that I got. But now I have another set, and I have to make a new color chart that incorporates the new set. I have not even opened the new set. I've had it for like a week or so. I don't even know what the colors look like in person. I got set E, the sketch set E, because it has a lot of really soft, light colors, which, you know, is difficult to find in markers, but not the Copic markers. So I'm excited to see what they look like. Sorry, I'm keeping track of all of my colors that I'm using here and making sure that I have it in the right order, because I'm changing topics a little bit. Real quick, Kim, I see your question. Yes, I am using the 150 set of Prismacolors as kind of the index for this master color chart, and the reason is because they have the most colors. 150, polychromos has 120, luminance has 74, and so I'm going to do all the Prismacolors since they have the most colors, and then what I'll do is for the polychromos, I'll do those next, and I'll put the polychromos color that corresponds with the Prismacolor. And if there's, there's going to be cases where there's like an in-between, and I'll just put that next to whatever I feel is like the closest possible color. And then same thing with the luminance. I'll put, and I'll use the Prismacolors as kind of the index, as you said, for all the colors, because I know there's like 2 or 3 very specific colors that I love in the luminance set that just doesn't appear in the 2 other sets. So that's kind of like those in-between colors that I was talking about. But setting up this chart took like 3 days, because what I did is I have my Prismacolor color chart here. I took a picture of it. I brought it into Photoshop, and I isolated all 150 individual colors. And then I have the Photoshop document open right now, actually, and I reorganized them because, like, I cannot stand. I can't stand. So when I initially do my color charts, I always do them in the factory order that they come in the package. I don't know. It's just a thing that I do. All of my pencils are in factory order. And every time I put them back, I use the color chart to put them back exactly the way that they came. I don't know why I do this, but I am compelled to do it. Maybe it's a little OCD on my part. I don't know if anybody else does that, but I do it religiously. I do it with my markers also. My markers are in factory order. I do it. I don't do it with my pastels because they're not labeled. So I get out of it with the pastels because they're not labeled. But it drives me crazy how little sense the color chart in the factory order makes. It just gets on my nerves so bad. So when I took a picture of it, I isolated each square and I reordered them in the most precise order that I could do. And it took me like 3 days because I'm playing around with like 150 layers in Photoshop. And I would come back to it like a day later and I'd be like, you know what? That color needs to shift over like 1 or 2. And so, yeah, I have that all in order, and I'll have to do it again with the polychromos and the luminance also. But yeah, it's just something I gotta do. And this master color chart / conversion chart, because that's kind of what I'm making it to be, so that anytime I'm using one brand of pencil, I can tell somebody the equivalent of the other brand. And I don't really have any desire to go out and buy a 4th set of colored pencils. I'm pretty satisfied. I'm more than satisfied, actually, with just the set of Prismacolor and Luminance. I don't really use polychromos. Those of you that watch my colored pencil tutorials or have asked about polychromos in the past, I'm not a fan of polychromos. I barely ever use them, but I'll have them here because I know that they're a popular pencil, but it's not a pencil that I recommend to a lot of people because I personally don't like them. Sorry, it looks like I might have some more questions, so let me try to make sure I don't miss any. Oh, hello, John. First live stream. Oh, you're from Tacoma. That's cool. I lived in Seattle for quite some time, about 10 years. Hello, Virginia. Maybe you can open and use the new set for next week's drawing journal. What new set? Oh, the new set of Copic markers. Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to do that, actually. That would be my plan. I can zoom in a little bit more. Let's see. When coloring anime hair, do you have to blend it? No, you do not. There's so many different styles of doing anime type hair, and some of the styles do not require blending at all. So that is not a necessity. You have the 2D kind of shell shaded style, and that will not have blended colors. Those will have just distinct colors to create a semi three-dimensional look by using different values of colors next to each other. Let's see. Oh, you do the same thing, keeping them in order? We'll be sharing the order. I think what you're referring to is, will I be sharing the order in which I make these color charts? And the plan is, okay, so I don't remember. This might have been as many as like as long as a year and a half ago that I started talking about this, because when I do my colored pencil tutorials over on Patreon, I create a reference photo and a color chart that goes with that reference photo. And what I do is, on the color chart, I list the 3 brands of colored pencils that I recommend based on that color chart. So there's technically a conversion on every single color chart, though it's rather imperfect. And so I had been discussing making a color chart conversion, because there is no color chart conversion for these 3 brands of pencils. And somebody had mentioned in one of the live streams that I was talking about this, that I should make one and then I can sell it on my website. And so I asked during the live stream, if I made this color chart, like, you can already somewhat tell how much time I've put into just the prismacolor part of this color chart. It's very tedious. And so I suppose I'll ask the question again: how many of you would be interested in a high resolution download of this color chart with this conversion color chart with the 3 brands, if I sold it on my website? Because there was a lot of interest when I first brought up this color chart, and like I said, this was quite some time ago. I've been putting it off for a very, very long time. I actually had these squares all drawn out for quite some time now, at least 6 months or so, but I never actually started the color chart until just a few weeks ago, when I felt like I had nothing better to do. But what my plan would be is to take, I'd break it up into 4 pictures, and then I'd merge those 4 pictures together so you can really, really zoom in and get the most accurate sense of what the color looks like on the paper. So it'd be a rather large JPEG image that you could zoom in super, super close to and get a really good feel of what the colors look like. Of course, after I take the photographs, I would color correct everything so that it appears as close to what it looks like in real life as possible. That way you guys could print it off and you wouldn't have to worry about coloring it yourself, and just get the best idea of what these colors look like next to each other. And then you could quickly convert them between the 3 brands just by looking at the numbers. And I have them handwritten here, but I would also go through and type out the numbers, the corresponding numbers of the pencils in the final high resolution image. That way everybody can read them a lot easier, because they're like microscopically written on here. It was very difficult to draw all 450 of these squares. Yeah, it is kind of like the periodic table. I have a lot of colors memorized by their numbers. I never use names of the colors. I always use numbers because they're so much easier for me. So I almost never go by name. Okay, I'm glad to see a few of you would be interested in the color chart. that motivates me a little bit more to get it done. So I'll try to get as much done today as I possibly can, without rushing, because I'm being rather precise with the I'm being pretty precise with everything that I'm doing, and I don't want to mess it up. I have a few little mistakes. I even had a typo. I guess you can call it a typo. What do you call it when you do it with your hand and you're not typing it, but it's still wrong? On my luminance color chart, there was I held up a pencil and I was like, I just make up a number. It was like 741, and 741. And I was looking on my color chart, and for the life of me, I couldn't find 741. And I was like, okay, it's definitely 741. And I'm like, where's this color on my color chart? And turned out I had written 714 as opposed to 741, and that's why I couldn't find it. And I was like, oh, that's a mistake. So I had to use some whiteout and write over it, and that bothers me. That bothers me a lot. I did the same thing on my marker color chart. Actually the new one. The new one was a complete disaster for the Copics, because I went through and I was writing down all the numbers before I started coloring them in, and there's 72 markers, so it's 12 by 6 squares. And when I wrote out the last marker, there was one square left over, and I was like, that's not right. There's 72 markers, and I only have 71 numbers written down. And it turned out that I had jumped one marker, and I had written half of the markers on the wrong square. It drives me nuts. To this day, it drives me nuts. But I spend hours upon hours making these color charts, and when I mess up and I realize that I have to do them over again, I just don't have the energy to do it. And with the colored pencils, I'm very precise with the level of pressure that I'm applying to the paper. I'm burnishing all the squares evenly, and I don't just do it really fast, with a lot of pressure. I just do it layer by layer, and I let the color build up naturally, so that I can get the most organic look of the color. Anyways, why don't you guys tell me some of the things that you've been working on lately? I'd love to hear about some of that stuff. I have, let's see. I just finished. I don't have it hanging up anymore, but I finished this looser portrait over on Patreon this past Thursday. Tomorrow on Patreon, we'll continue on with our pastel still life project. I don't think I've shared a picture of it, actually. I will have to do that tomorrow when we finish some more of it. I am really, really enjoying that project. For those of you that are on Patreon following along with the pastel still life, the flowers and the vase, I am just thoroughly enjoying that project. So hopefully you guys are as well. And I look forward to working on it tomorrow also. Yeah, color charts are super satisfying when they're complete. I love my collection of color charts that I have hanging up on my wall. I love them. Um, I learned so much from your videos and pastels. Well, that is awesome. I'm glad that you do. I really enjoy making them. I love working with pastels. They're just so fun. How is the oil painting coming along? It is coming along slowly but surely. I have every intention of working on it this Wednesday. I am anticipating working on it very much. The last layer is completely dry, so it's safe to go on and add some more paint. And gosh, it looks good. It looks good even now, still only being like half finished. Especially in the handmade frame that I made for it, because I have it over there. It's in the frame. I take it out, work on it, and then I just put it back in the frame. And it just, oh geez, I used walnut for the frame, and it just matches the painting so well. It's the most beautiful wood. I love walnut. My favorite wood for sure. And my brother helped me build it. I mentioned that before when I was back visiting my family in the United States. And yeah, he let me use his shop so that I could build it. And he showed me the tools that I needed to use to like connect the corners and stuff. And it was an absolute blast. A lot of fun making that frame, and I designed the frame specifically for the painting, and it just came out better than I could have imagined. I have a problem distinguishing the mid values from colors, or four colors. The mid values, four colors. Well, the mid value is very broad. I mean, just about every color can be considered like mid value, but middle value is very subjective to the work that it's being used in. For instance, if I were to paint like a night scene, something that's where the painting is very dark, and a lot of the objects are, in shadow because there's no light and all of that, then you have a lot of middle values that are actually just really dark colors, anything like non-black, non-pure black, and then the highlights might be as light or as dark as what middle values in another image might be. So there's a lot of like flexibility there, but in general, just about everything is a middle value. But it's, like I said, it's subjective to the work in the sense of it's all about the relationship to the other colors surrounding it. Because if you have a low contrast image, then your darkest colors could be just middle values for other paintings or whatnot. So you have to like narrow down your question, your specific struggle there with the mid-value color thing, for me to give you a more concrete answer that might help you out. I'm going to do a portrait of my husband in pastel. Oh, that's exciting. Just got to get started. Yes, indeed. That's what we all need to do more often, is just get started, Sometimes just saying something makes us feel too good. We just gotta get started, and that's where real progress is made. Oh, thank you, John Rudy. I appreciate that. Um, well, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Miss Chovel, Miss Chovel, I guess. Oil has, oil is um, my all-time favorite medium. So when I got into pastels, um, I really like pastels because they're like a dry oil paint because of how they look, and the vibrancy of the colors and all of that is just fantastic. So I have no doubt that you'll be enjoying the pastels. Will I be adding the number of the pencil next to the colors? Like I said, the print is like microscopic. I'm using a point 2 pen to write the numbers. The numbers are right here above them. They're very, very tiny. Maybe I can zoom in. See? Yeah, they're very small. I have a couple other projects that I have kind of brewing in the back of my mind. I've been working on this sketch for quite some time. Uh, this kind of like anime type character, something that I really like to do, but I don't do a lot of because most of the people that watch my channel are more into the fine arts, colored pencils, pastels, that kind of thing. More realism, not the anime slash manga stuff. So I don't do a lot of it, as much as I'd like to do. Anyway, but I started doing this sketch because there was this question, I don't know, a few weeks ago, asking if I would do something like that and color it again, because there was this one drawing journal. Well, actually, it was several drawing journals because it took me several weeks to color in the entire project. But there was this one project that I did. I drew a character. It looked really cool, and I had the line art and everything. And what I did was I did not choose the colors. Okay, I came on the drawing journal. You guys gave me the colors of what I should color what, and that's what I did. And you guys really, really disappointed my wife because she absolutely loved the line art, but she despises the colors that everybody chose for me to color in the project. So it's time to redeem yourselves. And so I have this sketch that I've been working on, but I've been having the most difficult time coming up with what the character looks like. And so what I did is I went back to that drawing that I had you guys choose the colors that I fill in, that my wife didn't like the color choices that you guys went with. Because I literally just I was like, okay, what color are the eyes? Teal. What color is the hair? What color is the hair? Purple? No, I don't think the hair is purple. I don't remember. I think it's red. But there's like every color happening in this picture. And a lot of people liked it. My wife was not among them. And so she wants you guys to redeem yourself. And so once I get that character designed, I'll have another one for us to fill in. And this time I'll just use markers. So I might be able to do it in like, just 1 or 2 live streams or something like that. But it was fun project. And so I'm going to use that as kind of a reference to designing the character, but I want to update it since I'm much better artist than I was 2 years ago. Just ordered the Cretacolor pastel pencils. I'm hoping they're good. Have I ever tried them? No, I have not tried them. I've only ever heard the Cretacolor pastels like twice, maybe. I imagine, art supplies are usually it's a safe bet that if an art supply is popular, then they're worth it. And the fact that I've been working with pastels for like 2 years or something, I don't even remember anymore, and I've only heard the Cretacolors like twice, that does not inspire me. In fact, that discourages me from the thought of them being that good. The pencils that I'm going to be reviewing on Wednesday, the Carbothellos, the Faber-Castell, the Derwent, and the Caran d'Ache. Those are the 4 that I hear about every single time. Like, those are the 4. Had I really ever heard of the Cretacolor pastels, I would have just bought those too. I mean, I already spent like $2,000 on pastels. I might as well just spend another 100 or so getting the full set of Cretacolors to throw those into the mix of review as well. But the truth is, I never hear about them, so I can't imagine that they're so great that they would be worth adding to the mix. To kind of sum up the pastel pencil review, Carbothellos. I mean, those are going to be the brand that I continue to recommend, because they have a great color selection, they're cheap, and they are of a rather good quality. I mean, they're not the pinnacle of excellent quality, but they're good quality. And so, yeah, I don't know. I don't, at least anytime soon, I'm probably not going to get the Cretacolor pastels. Are these Prismas? They're not new. These are about a year old or so. They're just the Prismacolors. They're nothing new here. I'm just making a new color chart that will incorporate the Prismacolors in a much more coherent order. As you can see, you can see my yellows make much more sense here into the red, pinks. The reds go into the purples are going into the blues are going to go into the greens are going to go into the browns are going to go into the grays are going to go into the black / white. So I changed the order of the Prismacolor color chart because it's such a mess. And then I will be a conversion chart for the other 2 brands, the polychromos and luminance. It will serve actually two purposes. One, just like the Carbothellos, the Prismacolors are always going to be the pencils I refer to people. They're always going to be the pencils that I'm like, oh, you want to get into colored pencils? Buy Prismacolor. They're always going to be my first choice every single time. Unless the person I'm talking to is like stupid rich, and I'm like, well, if you want the best, just go with the luminance. But if they're just that financially well off, I'm going to be like, buy the full set of Prismas and the luminance. Then you'll have everything you'll ever want. But this conversion chart will actually, you'll be able to build your set off of the full set of Prismas, because once you have the full set of Prismas, you have just a magnificent array of colors. But then you'll also know which colors of the luminance stretch the capacity of colors that the Prismacolor just doesn't quite reach. Because there's a few of the luminance pencils that I just flat out recommend having by number. Like specifically 866. 866 is just, I love that color. 866 is the best luminance color that they make, in my opinion. I just love that color. 862 is also one of my favorites, and 093. That's my Ninja Purple right there in luminance is 093. That's the original Ninja Purple. That color right there is just a must-have. And this color chart will reflect those singular colors in luminance that you could simply just go out and buy for a couple dollars and then have. You don't have to spend the full $500 million on the full set of luminance, because I know that it feels risky, because I can still remember the feeling of when I first bought my set of luminance, and I was like, oh gosh, can I even justify this? If you guys could see the tiny room that I was living in while going to college in Seattle when I bought my set of Lumens pencils, you would have been like, man, don't you have like better things to spend your money on? And the truth is, yeah, I definitely did, but I was just too infatuated with the luminance pencils to not get them. So hopefully this chart will save some people a little money by knowing which colors are most needed from the luminance set. Am I going to do a list of light fast ratings on the chart? No. No, I'm not. The reason I'm not going to do that is the first reason I'm not going to do that is because the three sets have three different things regarding light fastness. They're not all measured the same way. And I don't care. It's probably not a good quality about myself, but I don't care about light fastness. I have zero concern about it. I use whatever pencils I want based on the color it gives me, and I'm done from there. The reason I don't care is because there is no way that the artwork that I'm creating right now even needs to last 100 years. Seriously, I just don't care. And in the very, very off chance that anything that I create even deserves to last 100+ years. The art conservators that manage whatever piece it might be, that's their job. Do you think like 300 years ago, when people were making stuff, oil painting and whatnot, that they had any idea of light fastness? Yet their work lives through the ages because it's people's jobs to make them look better. I know you guys seen the videos. They're on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and all that. People, color correcting like old masters. That's their job. So I don't care about light fastness, and so I'm not going to put it on my color chart. The information on light fastness is already out there. It's so easy to look up, even per color. So that's the easy thing. But you cannot find this chart that converts the three colors side by side the way that I'm going to do. That's the difficult part. So that's what I'm focused on, not the light fastness. Oh, you totally agree with me on the light fast issue? Okay. Yeah, I can't care. If I say that I care about light fastness, odds are I'm lying. Because there's very few things that I can just not care about. Country music and light fastness of my art supplies. I can't change that. Like, I can't just then start caring. Like, I can't turn that on like a switch. So it's just going to have to be that way. Am I aware of the app called My Markers? It's great. You can keep track of what pencils you have. Pretty much every brand is covered. Oh, that's cool. I don't use a smartphone. I have an iPad, but it's like 1 billion years old. And I use it like to play chess, and that's about it. And to post pictures on Instagram, and it struggles to do that. So no, I am able to keep track of my pencils without an app because, as I was mentioning at the beginning of the stream, I keep all of my pencils in the factory order in their original boxes. And when I start a project, well, you guys should know by now how I do my planning. First, I collect my reference photos, I do my sketch, I analyze my colors and establish my color chart. Once I establish my color chart, I collect the pencils that correspond to my color chart. I use those pencils in that thing that I'm creating. And when I need to stop and reuse that or rework the drawing, I don't put the pencils away. I keep them in a cup that correspond to that project. And that way I can just grab the cup. There's all the pencils that I used. I just keep doing it. And then once the project is 100% complete, the pencils go back in the original case, in the original order that corresponds to my color chart. And that's the way it goes, and that's the way it always goes. So I immediately know which pencils are running low and when to get replacements. So an app would just be redundant for me. But it is a cool idea for those of you that, like to have your smart devices nearby you at all times. Yeah, I thought you might enjoy that, Stephen. Uh, yeah, I think I heard of the app for the Copic markers. Copic markers, they're just too easy for me to buy now. I know how fun they are to use. I just want them all. I want to get all the sets. I'm so greedy, and I don't want to make another color chart because now I have 144. Like I went from 72 to 144, and um, it's set B and set E. So it's not even like A and B. Because if it was A and B, that would be easier because it's A and then B. And I could do an A-B chart and then a C-D chart and then an E chart. That doesn't work. Did they have an F set? I don't think they have an F set yet. Either way, I know that if I make a color chart of 144, I'm going to end up getting another set, and then I'm going to have to make a new chart with 126. That's a weird number. I don't like that number. 226. Yeah, so I almost want to refrain from making another color chart with my Copics just because I feel like I'm going to get more. Oh, hello, Mecca. Yeah, it is. It has been a while. I'm glad you're able to make it to another live stream. That isn't Inktober. I'm excited for 2019 Inktober. I am super excited because now I got my Copic markers. I need to order my sketchbook for this year's Inktober because um, the Zeta and Burn sketchbook that I used last year was just so awesome. I wish that last year's Inktober would have been as good as 2017 because I was such a slacker. I was such a slacker. I apologize. Last year's Inktober was just so awful. I don't think there was anything that I did that was impressive, and it just felt real bad. But this year with some Copics, I'm ready to like really make some good work. I'm gonna do a lot of planning. Last year's Inktober was tough. My family had lost somebody. Actually, the very first day that I had to stream, I found out. My sister called me about an hour before I had to stream for day one of Inktober of 2018. And I cannot express the level of difficulty that first, actually the entire month was impossible to get through. And I didn't mention anything. I haven't mentioned anything, at least on my channel, about it, because I don't think that I physically would have been able to continue streaming. So last year's Inktober was exceptionally difficult to get through emotionally. But this year, hopefully our fortunes won't be so poor, and I'll be able to create some really, really inspired work. You want to do a color chart for pastel pencils, but not sure what paper to do them on and how to protect it. Well, I will actually be doing a color chart of my pastel pencils. And I will, of course, be using the only acceptable paper, which is, if somebody can finish that answer or that sentence for me, I will be using the only acceptable paper for my pastel pencils, and that will be Clairefontaine Pastel Matte. And I will be protecting them the exact way that I protect all of my pastel work. And that is by doing absolutely nothing other than not touching them. But that's another color chart that I really, really want to do. I'll probably only do it for 3 of the 4 sets that I have, because the fourth set is just going to rot away, and all of you will find out which set that is on Wednesday when the pastel pencil review finally debuts or premieres. Yeah, Christine, I am going to need that. I'm going to need that in the middle of October of this year. Yeah, once we hit, oh goodness, I think it's like, it's not usually day 15. I feel like it's day 17, because that's like the downhill slope, you know? Like day 15, we're like, yes, halfway there. Day 16 is like, we are officially more than halfway there. And then day 17 is like a really long Wednesday, where you're like, man, today is going on so long, but tomorrow is only Thursday, and then it's finally Friday. But yeah, day 17 of Inktober is like a really long Wednesday, and all you want to do is think, oh man, I wish it was Thursday so tomorrow was Friday. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Mecca. I appreciate that. Where did you get the charts for your colors? I drew them by hand. Yeah. This is hand drawn with a ruler and ink. I love doing it. I love doing it. I have it all measured out, and it's perfect. Yeah. My wife, she even comments on the precision of my color charts. She's like, how do you get them so centered on all of the paper? They're so perfect. And I was like, well, I do the math. I figure out the maximum size that I could put on the paper. So this is the maximum 1 by 1 centimeter size of squares that I could fit on this paper. And then once I know the maximum 1 by 1 centimeter squared, I have to incorporate these are 0.3 centimeters, so 3 millimeter thick label heads. So there's 25 in a row. So 25 times 3, 75. So 75 millimeters in each row, which is 7.5 centimeters. So I have 25 centimeters plus 7.5 centimeters. So 32.5. That is as much as I can put on this paper. before going up to 4/10 of the centimeter, or 4 millimeter. So I do all the math first, and then I measure it out with my ruler, draw the lines, and then go from there. And I do that on all of my color charts, because that color chart has 1.5 centimeters squared. This one has, for these ones I used inches, and the other ones are centimeters. No, 1.5 centimeters. These are 1 centimeter squared. Those are 1.5 centimeters squared. Is Steve leaving? Did I miss something? Oh, okay, yeah, you gotta get some sleep, Steve. I'll see you on the next live stream. How long have I been streaming for? Oh, I've been streaming for about an hour. I've been having fun though. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying today's stream. I mean, I know that I'm not coloring anything all that exciting, but I didn't stream last week, right? And so I feel like it's been like a million years since I streamed, even though I stream twice a week on Patreon. There's a lot less activity on the live chat on Patreon than there is here on YouTube. So it's nice. It's nice to come over to YouTube and just have like a bunch of people to hang out with and chat about all kinds of stuff. So I feel like it's been a while. But it feels good to be back and see some familiar faces. Nobody has commented on the fantastic tips. Look at these tips of my Prismacolor pencils. I don't ever want to hear someone complain about not being able to sharpen Prismacolor color pencils, okay? I've sharpened all 150 of these pencils. Not a single pencil has broken, okay? Not one. And they all look like this. They all look like the sharpest tip that you can get on a pencil, okay? No one gets to complain that Prismacolors suck because of, the inability to sharpen them. Nope. Not ever going to hear it. Never ever going to listen. And I am happy to also announce that on Wednesday, when the pastel pencil review premieres, I will be sharing the name of the pencil sharpener that I have been grinding down all of my pencils like crazy with. Okay? So, yeah. So everybody can get these tips, even on their Prismacolors. Even on their Prismacolors. Oh, hey, what's up, Leontine? It's good to see you. Yes, it is awesome that you're able to catch a stream again. I've been enjoying the work you've been posting over on Instagram. It's like I think I only follow like 12 or 13 people on Instagram or something. So anytime I log into Instagram, your work is almost exclusively at the top of the list of pictures that I see. So it's always nice to see what you're working on. Yes, the great pencil sharpener reveal. I have, so new ones don't break nearly as much. I still have my set from high school, and those ones like to break. Really? Okay, I have mine. I have some ancient prismacolors in that drawer right over there. I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get them and prove you wrong. I got them. They're right here. These are the original. These are the OG Prismacolors. This is my first set. Okay, let's find the crustiest pencil in here. Okay, one that just screams. You will never sharpen me successfully. Look how I don't even know what the word, innovative I was. When my pencils would get so short, I would glue the ends together so I could just flip them over and then have the colors that I needed. This is white, and this is, I think, 090, so a really light grayish blue. Let's see here. Which ones just look really bad? Oh, this one. This one looks like I was forced to sharpen it with a blade because I couldn't get it to work in another pencil sharpener. This one also looks like I hacked it to death with a blade. I have not even looked at these pencils in like a million years. They're at least 8 years old, I think. I don't even know how old these are. So let's see. These much older Prismacolors. Obviously, I struggled like crazy to get a tip on them. So let me go ahead and grind these up, and we'll see what I come back with. All right, so you guys ready? Here they are. There's those fresh new tips. Not even, that was not even a struggle at all. Right? Those look almost good enough to eat, don't they? Don't eat your pencils. All right. Let's put these pencils here away and go back. Oh, wouldn't you love to know what sharpener I'm using? Trust me, I would love to tell you, but it's too soon. It's too soon. You gotta wait till Wednesday. You'll find out Wednesday. It's probably, this is what I this is what I kind of imagine happening a little bit. I have talked up this pencil sharpener for what feels like ever. I got it in the beginning of the month, so it's only been like a few weeks or whatever. And I know that there's going to be people that know this pencil sharpener. Like when I reveal it, they'll be like, "Oh, I saw that. There's nothing special about it." I don't think there's anything special about it. Like, it's not like some exclusive pencil sharpener that you can't just find on Amazon. But I have a feeling that it's going to be kind of anticlimactic for a few people. Like, oh, here's the pencil sharpener, and then it's just this pencil sharpener you can find anywhere. And I've been like teasing you guys with this pencil sharpener for like 2 weeks at least. Not even my patrons know. Just so you know, people pay to watch my tutorials on Patreon, and they'll go to the live streams and stuff. They don't even know. So you're all in the same boat. And the funny thing is, I don't know when this was. I was streaming, and someone in the chat said they got this pencil sharpener. They got this pencil sharpener, and I had to pretend like I didn't know what they were talking about. And I don't want to reveal too much, because I don't want the person that said they bought a pencil sharpener to know who they are. But at least one person for sure bought the pencil sharpener that I'm going to just recommend for like the rest of my life, because it saves like a ton of time. For one, I mean, you saw how quick it was for me to sharpen those 2 pencils, plus, toggle my mic on and off. So it saves a bunch of time. It works amazing with pastel pencils and colored pencils and graphite pencils, if you do graphite. I don't do graphite that much, but when I do, guess what pencil sharpener I'm using? That one there. Yep, you'll just have to keep using your pocket knife till Wednesday, Debbie. It depends on what you think is expensive. I'm gonna say that it's not. It's more than $40 in most cases, I think. I don't think you'll be able to find the pencil sharpener for less than $40. If you can, then awesome. But I know that I spent, I think, $55 on it. I think. I'd have to go back. But if it sharpens every single pencil like this and it never breaks them, it's totally worth it. It's 100% worth it. You can get replacement blades for it also. I just want to mention that. Unlike the Helix sharpener, where you cannot get replacement blades, I mean, once you run that thing ragged, which takes about a month anyway, there's no replacement blades. So it's very frustrating. At least none that I can find. This one, I already bought 3 replacement blades for it. So I have them in my drawer for whenever it decides to go dull on me. And I'll just replace the blade and move on with my life, and it will be like I have a brand new pencil sharpener again. But I've put in this pencil sharpener through a lot in the past 3 weeks. I've sharpened all of my pastel pencils that I can shove in there. I've sharpened my the luminance pencils. They don't fit, do they? Luminance pencils are kind of fat. Yeah, the luminance pencils, they do sort of kind of fit in there, but you kind of gotta like push harder. But luminance pencils are super easy to sharpen. You could sharpen them with a butter knife without breaking the tips off. So those ones I'm not concerned about. The Prismacolor and all the pastel pencils, those ones are the tricky ones, especially the pastel pencils. I have never been on Patreon. Well, fortunately, there is a link in the description that will take you over there. And then you'll never have to say you've never been on Patreon. I'm curious now because I remember the comment, and with your facial expression after the comment, it made me think that it could very well be the one you have. Oh, hello, Debbie. Drop by, say hello, but I've got to go. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, thanks for coming by and saying hi. I do appreciate that. After being disappointed with more expensive sharpeners multiple times, I now use a €3 sharpener to replace them, and replace them very often. Yeah. Well, if you, if you have to replace a €3 sharpener 10 times, I mean, that's €30 just on sharpeners. That's an expense that you might be willing to make, but if you, and does the €3 the real question is, does the €3 sharpener satisfy, like, does it do what you really want it to do, like nearly as well as this one? Does it save you time? Does it save you time? Because, time is also money. I hate that phrase, but, saving the time, you can get things done better or faster. So there just might be a reason to maybe branch out one last time and try an expensive sharpener. 208933. Am I done with the purples? Sorry, I'm trying to. I have the list. I have in Photoshop. I have the list of all of my colors, completely done, and so I'm just going through and. Okay, so 208. 208. Wait, that's 933. I have that color. The next color, 901. I know what it is. I remember that guy's guess. Wait, what guy's guess? You looked it up and won't tell. Yeah, I don't know what guy's guess you're referring to. But yeah, even if you do, yeah, just don't say anything. Maybe you can buy one. Yeah, I lost faith in a good sharpener when my Helix died, because when I first got it, I was like, oh my gosh, this pencil sharpener is amazing, and I immediately was like, oh my gosh, everybody buy this pencil sharpener. And then like 3 weeks later, it doesn't sharpen anything. It still sharpens my luminance, even when it's like rather dull, because luminance is luminance. But it doesn't sharpen anything else. So I stopped. I even took it off my website. Crap. Anyways, I just realized something. Yeah, but I stopped recommending that sharpener. What pencil am I on? Okay, 901. But this sharpener now, I feel much more confident in, because I've grinded it just like crazy. Tons of pastel pencils, which are not friendly to any sharpener. And then, of course, all of the Prismacolors, all of the polychromos pencils, and I've even jammed in there a few luminance pencils, as unwilling as it is to take them. Do I already have the corresponding matches picked out for the other pencils? No, I do not. I am going to do those one at a time and just kind of... I'm going to use the color charts in person to match the colors up the best that I can and go from there. So I might end up... I don't know. I don't want to cut them up. I was thinking I'd cut the squares up and then I'd be able to put them next to the color and match them even better, but I don't think I want to do that. So I'll just do it the best that I can, I suppose. I love that I have you guys so excited about the pencil sharpener, and I spent like 2 weeks working on the review for the pastel pencils, and nobody's excited about the pastel pencil review. The only aspect of the pastel pencil review you guys are excited about is that I finally reveal the pencil sharpener. Which just makes me laugh. Let's see. This is going to be my last color. So I'm going to burnish this last square here, and then I'm going to call it a day. So if you guys have any last questions before I go, ask them very quickly and you'll manage to keep me on stream just that much longer. But what do I gotta do after this? I don't even know what I gotta do. I got stuff. I got things. Oh, I gotta prepare tomorrow's live stream for Patreon. So if you guys, this has been the most awesome month for my Patreon page. It has been amazing. I have like almost 30 new patrons just in this month, which is more than I've ever had in a single month ever. It's been fantastic. I love seeing all the new patrons. So if you guys, if you're not a patron and you want to learn colored pencils, graphite, mixed media, even a little bit, or whatever, you can join me on Patreon. I do live streams every Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Tuesdays is pastels, Thursdays is colored pencils, but the colored pencil one sometimes stretches out to mixed media like it did the past couple weeks. But I would love to have you over there. It helps support my channel and helps support what I do. I've almost reached a new goal of $1,000 a month, and once I get to that goal, I want to upgrade my microphone that you can kind of see here, so that you guys can hear me better and more clearly. I also want to upgrade this camera right here that you're looking here at, so that it is a higher quality camera, because this camera is okay for the live streams. It's okay, just okay, which I'm not satisfied with. I want to give you guys a much better live streaming experience. So I want to upgrade my microphone so you guys can hear me more clearly. I want to upgrade my camera, most importantly, because what I want to start doing is recording the tutorials that I do over on Patreon. Because right now I can record with this camera, but it records at a very, very low quality. Now it says that it's HD, but it's like HD covered in mud. The recording is just really low quality. It is not something that I am willing to put on my channel. So once I upgrade that camera, what I'll be able to do is record all of my tutorials that I do over on Patreon, and then I can kind of condense them to like a time-lapse / narrated tutorial that I'd love to bring over to YouTube. Because I'd like to produce a video every Wednesday, or try to at least, even if it's just a simple time-lapse of a project that I did over on Patreon. So that's what I'd like to do. It would also look better on the live streams. You know, the video quality would be better on the live streams as well. So that's kind of what I'm shooting for. I'm really, really close. And I think, you know, if I could just get a few more patrons by the end of February, then I think I'll be right on track to reaching that goal by the end of February, and that will help. That will help me just produce even better content for you guys, especially the live streams. The live streams are my favorite, and I'd love to upgrade my mic very soon. I might even do it before reaching the goal, just, you know, for the sake of having it. All right, that square is done. As you can see, I have a million more squares to fill in. I'll probably just keep working on this for the rest of my life. And once I have this color chart done, I'm not going to bore you guys every Monday by working on this color chart, because that would bore me too. So I'll finish this off camera, I don't know, probably by the time I turn 40, just in time for retirement. And then I'll get it up. I'll get it up on my website as soon as I can. Real high quality picture and all of that, so you guys will have a comparison / conversion chart for the prismacolors, the luminance, and the polychromos, because I know that it's been a long time. This color chart been a long time coming, so I'll get it done as soon as I can. What else? I don't think there's much else. Hopefully, I didn't miss any questions. Did I miss any questions? What do you do with old supplies that you never use or was disappointed? That's actually a really good question. I don't do anything with them. They just sit here. I have given some supplies away. There was this calligraphy set that I gave to one of my students. He was mentioning during class one time that he wanted to try calligraphy, and I was like, oh, well, I have this set. I'm never going to use it, and I just mailed it to him. And in return, he gave me some really nice pastels, but I wasn't expecting it. He did that on his own volition. So I'm not totally against giving them away. I love giving stuff away. I try to give as much away as I possibly can. I will have probably a set of pencils to give away. Not completely unused, but I don't know. I try to give stuff away. I have no space. I have no space for anything right now. A lot of my supplies are just sitting on the floor next to my desk, which I despise. But yeah, so I try not to. I don't throw anything away. That I might as well just set my money on fire if I'm going to do that. I have not tried watercolor markers. I have not. Oh, that's great. I'm glad that you appreciate my reviews. I would love to do more reviews. If you guys could, if you have Twitter, if any of you guys have Twitter, if you want to help me out and like literally do nothing, just tweet at like Derwent, Faber-Castell, Caran Dash, whatever supply company that you're thinking about. Be like, just tweet at them, tag me in the tweet as well, and be like, hey, I'm kind of interested in this. Send something to Unmask Art and have him do a review. If you guys do that, I think companies would probably be more inclined to send me stuff. I've already sent emails to all of them, specifically regarding pastels, because I was like, I want to make more courses for this year, pastels, colored pencils, all of that. And so I sent emails to all of the, I don't even know what you call it. Yeah, I sent emails to the company, the people that would deal with stuff like this. A couple months ago, haven't heard anything back from anybody, and it would be great if they would just send me stuff, and then I could do reviews. And I'd love to do more reviews because I enjoy doing reviews, and as much as I don't have room for more art supplies, I can't turn down free stuff. There's always room for free stuff. That's a known fact. I think it's like the 8th law of thermodynamics. You learn that in physics. There's always room for free stuff. So what time Wednesday? I will have that scheduled out in about the next hour or so. You'll see the video on my channel, and it will be promoted as a premiere. So you'll see that. It will be at 1500, so same time today's stream started. I really don't want to miss anything else. Can't wait till you're 40. Yeah. Well, I retire when I'm 40. I've been saying it since I was 19 years old. My dad has always worked, like he has worked his fingers to the bone, and which I am just extremely grateful for. But I don't want to do it. So since I was 19 years old, I've always been saying I will retire when I'm 40. That is it. I am going to retire when I'm 40 years old, period. So I have 10 years to retire. And so far, I'm on track. So I can't wait till I'm 40 also. Just a thought, you could sell the tutorials for a low price. Someone that can't afford to pay the amount each month might be willing to buy random videos or random tutorials. Yeah, that's kind of the plan, Lady Marigold. That is kind of the plan for the new tutorials that I intend to create this year that I'm going to put on my website. Yeah. I could donate the supplies to shelter or kids program. Yeah, I'd have to find one in Poland. So I could probably try to find something like that. Yeah, my used pencils. Yeah, you guys are adding to my work. Selling stuff. I don't even sell my own artwork, so probably not going to start selling my used supplies. Have Anna and I been hunting for a house? We have a realtor that is out looking. He emailed us 2 weeks ago, I think, or maybe just like a week ago or something, and said that nothing yet. We're looking for something rather specific. So he was only searching for a few weeks, so no surprise that there wasn't anything that popped up yet, but he is looking, and hopefully we'll find something around summertime. I would prefer to wait for it to stop snowing before I start moving, but yeah, hopefully we'll find something. I'm glad you brought up my wife Sneaks. because there is one other thing that I wanted to mention. So my wife and I will be celebrating our anniversary on February 4th, and we will be doing a couples stream on our anniversary. So I know a lot of you have been missing my lovely wife on stream. I always enjoy streaming with her. So we'll be streaming next week on the 4th. It is the next week, right? Yeah, it is. I should know that. Don't tell her. But we'll be doing a couple stream. I don't know what exactly we'll be doing. Probably playing with pastels, because I like to play with pastels, and I like to make her play with pastels. So there's that going to be happening in the future. And I think that's it. I'm going to go now. What is a color chart? Yeah, I'm going to go. This is a color chart. It's a color chart. These are color charts. Anyways, you guys have a lovely rest of your day. I enjoyed today's stream. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you give the live stream a thumbs up. I will see all of you lovely patrons tomorrow for the pastel tutorial. I'll see the rest of you on Wednesday for the pastel pencil review, and then again, patrons on Thursday. But otherwise, that's going to be it. So you guys take care, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.